What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. My apologies to all of you guys. I have not been doing and taking care of the Dallas Cowboys the way that I should be. I've just had so much stuff to do, so many things that are going on, and I have been gone from here since Monday morning, and my God, it feels so good to be back home. We had a lot of work we had to do. Um, there's a lack of housing for people in certain areas, rental properties and stuff like that, and people are literally desperate for places. And we had an opportunity to get one together that can at least make one less person um, looking for a place, and I feel good about the person that's moving in there, and glad we could get it done. We literally have been busting a hump to get it done, and we got it done. And now I'm gonna take a couple of days to get refocused in on my inventables because I got a bunch of stuff I need to get out of there. Dallas Cowboy for life. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about your rack, your uh, hoodie rack. I got you covered. And Gina Thorne, I got your Dak Prescott thing. I'll finish that tomorrow and get it out over the weekend. Philly D, I got your print. I figured that out. And my man with the picture of your kids and your wife will be doing that tomorrow too. So got a lot of work there, and I got some bookcases I got to build for somebody else, so the work doesn't end. Um, Next week begins OTAs. This is where you already. Here's the thing. You can call it what you want to call it. This week is. I don't know what exactly you want to call it. The rookies are working with the veterans for the first time. Organized team activities where they're actually running plays and beginning installs and so on. Next week is OTAs, where I guess they take it up another little bit of a notch, for the couple of days that they're going. Although there's no contact. See, here's the thing. Last year, they had a little too much contact without pads on, and the NFL docked them one OTA practice. We got too physical. And I'm betting that a lot of these guys are ready to rock and roll. Every year it's so funny that we always start out with the Giants, the Washington Football Commanders, and the Eagles. They got better. The Cowboys, they didn't do anything. And somehow, some way, it seems like Dallas is always in one of the top spots. Very rarely do you see them down in the basement, except when Dak Prescott got injured. In fact, the Cowboys are one of the few teams without losing a quarterback. Never really seem to be in the basement much. You can look at, 2020 when we lost Dak and we were in the toilet there. You can look at 2015, when we lost Tony Romo, us being in the toilet. But other than that, we're always at least middle of the road and a little bit better. We've always been so close to being that team. In fact, we've been that team during the regular season. Just when playoffs come around, it just doesn't seem to get there. The thing that's cool is I remember meeting DeMarcus Lawrence, I think his second year. He came up for an autograph signing show. And in that time since then, seeing him mature and now being like the elder guy. You could see that with Tyrone Crawford a few years back, where he was, the aging veteran, the guy, the wise old veteran, the team leader, the guy that was working with the young guys. The thing that was cool is, shout out to Law Nation. Law Nation's been putting out some incredible content and stuff. And I just haven't been able to do, to be able to stay right on top of stuff. When I'm down there working on a rental property, Sometimes it takes an hour or so. The Wi-Fi signal is not real good. It takes an hour to upload, and I don't have all my equipment, so I can't really do clips and stuff like that. And that's burden is on for me to fix. And I'm working on ways of fixing that down there, and that's just, it's going to take time to do that. But be that as it may, shout out to Law Nation for putting out that great content and stuff. Because he was showing Sam Williams, they're working on the sleds. It's funny seeing the nice sleds they have today. Back in the days where we had the 7-man sled, where you had to push the whole sled, and it was just the pad and the metal spring like off of a tractor trailer that you had to hit. But now they've got the lifting pad, so when you hit it, it'll lift up and stuff, and so you can really get your hand technique. We had to be down low because the sucker was only this high, and then you had the coach. You had the coaches sitting there on it, with the brakes to make sure that they worked our ass. But seeing D-Law just kind of helping him with the technique a little bit there, subtly, which is cool, because the thing about this is it's hard when you're a veteran, because you see your mortality in football more than any other job or career. It wasn't that long ago that DeMarcus Lawrence was that Sam Williams, the new guy there getting taught by, the veterans. And veterans get older, they get gone. The new guys become the veterans that are passing it on. And you start to realize your own mortality. Now, D-Law's made a lot of money. He's had a lot of publicity and stuff. At this point in your career, you look at this and think about your legacy. And it's sad when you look at some of the great players that have gone through that don't have that ring. Because in the end, that's what really matters, that hardware. You think about Jason Witten or Tony Romo or Des Bryant, guys that were truly hardcore Dallas Cowboy players. Tyron Smith, like right now, and Zach Martin, that are just getting their last opportunities, because you don't know how many more years you have left. You don't know if Sam Williams is going to take your job after this year. And that makes it more important now to get the most that you can out of this. We have a few players, not many, because mostly our team is so young. We have a lot of young pups. We have very few. Tyron Smith, I'd almost say Zach Martin's getting up there now. You got D-Law. Everybody else is kind of a young. I guess you could say Zeke Elliott is kind of getting there because he's a running back. But this is an opportunity to get that ring. I know everybody's focused in on the Eagles, and that's fine. Let everybody focus in on them, because let them build them up, so when they fail, that fail will be even far further. To me, they are this year's Washington football team. But I honestly see opportunity this year. I think New Orleans will be better than they were last year, but I think Tampa Bay will be worse than they were last year. I think Green Bay will be worse than they were last year. Aaron Rodgers got his money, lost Devontae Adams, a guy who had 1,500 plus yards receiving. The next closest guy was only 500 and some. Take that to the bank. I think the Rams will have that Super Bowl hangover. 49ers go through cycles where they're good and then they kind of go bad. I think they're going to come back down to earth. I still don't know what to make of the Cardinals. The Eagles, well, of course, they're the Eagles. This is always a problem. But I think the Cowboys have a good chance to have a really good season for a multitude of reasons. One, Dak Prescott. This is a league that's predicated on the quarterback. And Dak playing like he did last year with the multitude of injuries he had, and understand, when you come back from injury, you're compensating for that injury. And when you compensate for an injury, you start favoring something else. You start messing up something else. You mess up your mechanics. And I think that's part of the reason why we had so many different problems. His body didn't really get healed from that injury when he was all of a sudden thrown back in with the rules of football season. But you look at Dak right now, and I know it's a cliche to say he's in the best shape of his life, but I tell you what, he's a man on a mission right now. I think our offensive line will be better. I know we lost Amari Cooper and so on, but I think they're going to be able to compensate because I think they'll use that 12 personnel more. And I am not one that's buying into Zeke Elliott being done yet. I think Zeke Elliott has been the, how do I put it? Not the symptom. He's like, okay, it's been a long day and a long drive. But he is the sneeze because of all the other symptoms. Because the offensive line was having issues. Because Tony Pollard had the plantar fasciitis. Because he had the torn PCL. Because you lost to Blake Jarwin. All of these things kind of added up to Zeke Elliott not running, without people actually looking at the reasons why he wasn't doing what he was. You can't tell me that a guy who was averaging 4.7 yards a carry the first 8 games is done. You go from there, you see all these other things and reasons why the numbers went down. But that's cool. Let them down. I'm going to leave this right there for now. It's just kind of meandering and just happy to be home. And I love being home. I love my home. It's nice to go away, but I love to come back home. And I think I understand Stewart. I've been talking to Stewart a couple times a day, every day. And Stewart is in a long-term care facility while they try and get his wounds to heal, as they try and figure out what they can do as far as the treatment goes. And listening to Stewart talking about how much he hates being where he is, and he just wants to go home. He wants to be home with his dog, his cat, and his mom. And the comfort of home. And I can truly appreciate that. I've been gone the last 4 days. Stuart, I hope I can get you help. Hope I can help you get home soon. I really and truly do, buddy. All right, good people. Make sure you tell someone you love that you love them tonight. And I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take me a nice hot shower. And I'm going to climb in my bed with my wife. And I'm going to pass the F out. And God willing, I'll be here tomorrow morning. Back in my man cave, talking to you guys. Thanks as always, guys, for listening. I'll see you in the morning. Peace.